Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video. Terry offers Isaiah a job at General Hospital. Lucky and Isaiah have big decisions to make about their futures, and Drew hires Rick. Today on General Hospital, Carly tries to get to the bottom of Jason and Drew's fight. Elizabeth shares her feelings about Lucky with Terry, and Anna and Felicia discuss whether Robert and Holly will make it this time. Please note that if you purchase something by clicking on a link within this story, we may receive a small commission of the sale. General Hospital Preview. Port Charles says goodbye to Sam, and hello to Spoiler. Lucky finds Sunny beating the bag at his gym. Sunny asks if he's here to spar, but Lucky is looking for him and some advice. Sunny suggests he join him, as he looks like he is itching to hit something. Lucky accepts the invite. After a round in the ring, Lucky admits to Sunny he's been thinking of heading back to Africa, where he can do the most good. Sunny knows he was working there with the surgeon who operated on Lulu. Sunny can't believe he wants to leave already. Lucky admits when he's out in the world, he feels he's doing something good. Something that makes a difference. Sunny feels he's already made his decision. Lucky isn't sure, as he left his family behind when he went away before. Sunny asks if he doesn't think he can do that again. Lucky says Aiden is used to him not being around, so he doesn't know what he has to offer. He can't go back to being a cop again. And if what he's looking for isn't here, why should he stay? Sunny says Luke was his best friend, so he could offer him a legit job. However, if he doesn't want to be here, don't stay because others want him to. Maybe it's time for him to move on. Lucky admits every time he looks at flights, he feels guilty. Sunny says whatever he does, he'll support him. However, Sunny says he needs to be honest with his son, his mother, and especially himself about why he's leaving. Lucky gets a text and says he needs to meet someone, but thanks Sunny for hearing him out. Sunny also says that he needs a sparring partner, so he hopes he sticks around. Jordan runs into Elizabeth at the hospital and asks how Lulu is doing. Elizabeth says Lulu is stable and improving. Jordan is glad, as ever since the surgery, Laura has felt lighter, but she's also devastated over Sam's death. Liz calls Sam's death tragic, but they are lucky Lulu is doing well, and that Isaiah was able to do the surgery. She says the all nurses can't stop singing his praises, and they aren't easily impressed. She says most surgeons wouldn't even have tried the transplant. Jordan says he did toot his own horn to her, and it seems he was justified in doing so. Isaiah meets Terry in her office and asks if there is a problem with Lulu's recovery. Terry says there isn't, and she wanted to see him and make him an offer to work at General Hospital. He wasn't expecting this. She asks him to think about it, read the packet she hands him, and come to her with any questions. Terry says they want to keep him here at GH. Later, Elizabeth visits Terry in her office and says she just saw Isaiah leaving, so is there something she wants to tell her? Terry reveals, just between them, that she offered him a job here. However, she doesn't know if he will take it. Terry thinks that if he takes it, Lucky will be happy that his friend is sticking around. Liz reveals that Lucky is already looking for his next adventure. Terry suggests to consider that Lucky feels he's no good to anyone. He came all this way to help Lulu but couldn't. Liz realizes why Lucky leaving has her so emotional. It's because he still has an effect on her. She says he's a great guy when he's not wrapped up in his angst and turmoil. He can be charming, kind, and funny. And she likes watching Aiden get to know his father. However, Lucky always leaves. She doesn't want to get her hopes up that Aiden could have a parent, and she could have a co-parent. Terry thinks she could also have a partner, but Liz insists that was over and done with long ago. She admits she got caught up in the craziness that they could be a family. Terry asks if she has told Lucky that. Liz hasn't, but she will tell Lucky that if he has no plans to stay and make a life here, then he needs to go, as it's not fair to her or Aiden. In the halls, Jordan runs into Isaiah and says she heard he did a great job with Lulu's surgery. He reveals Terry offered him a job here, but he doubts he'll take it. He had no plans of staying here, and he was making a difference in Africa, treating people nobody else would. Jordan says he is a transplant doctor, and as someone who had a transplant, she'd hate to see him waste his skills. Plus, if he's as good of a surgeon as he claims, wouldn't his skill be best suited for the OR? She tells him to have a good night, and walks off. Later, Lucky arrives and meets with Isaiah, who texted him. Isaiah admits he was going to invite him to return to Africa with him. But then Terry offered him a job here as a surgeon. He was going to say no, but was reminded he has a special skill set that is in need. Lucky tells him to stay then. Isaiah might, and he asks Lucky what he will do. Lucky says he's still trying to figure that out. Back at the gym, Sonny makes a call to someone. He tells them he needs them to set something up for an old friend. Felicia arrives at Anna's office after getting a call from her. Anna assumes she got the email that Robert's left town. Felicia did and just figured he was going on a holiday finally. Anna says Holly also just left town. So what is the chance they left town together? Felicia says if so, how does she really feels about Holly leaving with Robert? Anna wants Robert to be happy, but Holly is in trouble, and Robert will no doubt clean up her mess, and afterward, they'll fall into each other's arms. She fears Robert will get his hopes up, only for Holly to find a reason to avoid committing to him once again. Felicia says Anna may be wrong now that Robert knows about Sasha. She argues Robert left not just to save Holly, but Sasha's mother. Anna thinks she's being a Pollyanna. Felicia is worried about Sasha, who doesn't know her parents have taken off. Anna doesn't think they'll be gone forever, at least not Robert, as he'll want a relationship with his daughter. Felicia says they know that, but Sasha doesn't. Felicia says Sasha also has the entire Scorpio clan as a family now. Anna says that might be a lot for her, as Sasha's never known what having a family means. Felicia believes that needs to change. Carly arrives at Jason's room above Bobby's, having heard from Christina that it looked like he was in an accident. She wants answers. He admits he got into a fight with Drew, who got everything he deserved. She asks why and where. He tells her the basic details, that he waited for Drew to come home, they exchanged blows, and he left. Carly gasps, "You got into a fight with Drew when Danny and Scout were right upstairs." Jason says the kids were asleep, but Carly says they could have woken up and seen the fight, which would have messed them up. She tells him that he's all Danny has left, so he can't do this anymore. Jason insists this needed to happen. Carly asks, the night before Sam's funeral? Jason tells her, yes. Carly says Sam's funeral is tomorrow. Drew will be there, and he could press charges. Jason insists Drew won't press charges. She says Drew may not have a say in the matter with witnesses present at the fight. He says it was a risk he had to take, and he won't say anything else. Carly says she'll go and fix his mess as usual and storms off. Rick arrives at the Quartermain mansion, shocked at Drew's bloodied face, and learns from Drew that he and Jason had a disagreement. Rick says, "That's the reason your face looks like this. Please tell me we are pressing charges." Drew asks why the enthusiasm. Rick admits he and Jason hate one another. Drew asks if this means the attorney-client privilege is in effect, and Rick says it is. Drew admits that he's been involved with Michael's wife, Willow, and explains that Ned was using a kiss between them to blackmail him. He refused to be blackmailed and told Michael about the kiss, who must have told Jason. Drew wants this to end tonight, and asks Rick to make Jason a deal to stay quiet about what he knows in exchange for charges not being pressed. Rick gets that he wants to avoid a scandal, but Jason deserves to be in jail. Drew says Sam's funeral is tomorrow, and he must be there for his son. He just wants Rick to convince Jason to take his offer. Rick refuses to take the case because he senses Drew isn't telling him the whole truth. Drew admits he and Willow slept together. Rick assumes that's why Jason attacked him. Drew insists Jason doesn't know about it, that only he and Willow do. Rick takes photos of his face for evidence, just in case Drew changes his mind about pressing charges. He will talk to Jason, but Drew needs to be prepared. This offer may piss Jason off even more, so be ready for what may come next. Later, Carly shows up at the mansion to see Drew. She is shocked by his face and asks if he's been examined by doctors. Drew tells her to cut to the chase. They both know she's here to protect Jason. Carly says she's here because he and Jason are still brothers. Drew says he already said he won't press charges. Carly decides to go so he can rest. He's shocked she's not going to ask why Jason attacked him. Carly claims she doesn't want to get involved, but Drew says she's always involved and always takes Jason's side no matter what. He says that's why they broke up. Carly retorts that he never gave her a chance to prove him wrong. He says their relationship was over the minute Jason came back. He tells her that she'll always defend Jason no matter what. Carly doesn't know what happened, but Jason said Drew deserved it, so he must have done something to provoke Jason. Rick arrives to see Jason at his apartment and makes him the offer to stay quiet in exchange for Drew not pressing charges. Jason refuses the deal. Rick says he'll be happy to see him behind bars, but Jason says to tell Drew he won't say anything. But if anyone finds out, it didn't come from him. Rick says he'll deliver the message. Rick knows Jason wants to hit him. Jason responds, "Who doesn't?" Rick dares him to take the shot. He laughs when Jason does nothing, but Jason bluffs a hit, making Rick flinch. Rick says, "My condolences for Sam," and walks out. Watch GH on Hulu $7.99. Buy now. Next on General Hospital, it's the day of Sam's funeral. Drew tells Nina there is nothing to stop Jason from going to the funeral. Alexis is unsure if she can get through the day. At the church, Maxie tells someone she won't let them get away with this. Cody is there to support Dante. Molly tells someone, "You knew I needed you." Kai shows up at Joss and Trina's place looking for Trainer. At Bobby's, Lucky asks someone, "Do I know you?"